Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Picks on Net NHL Picks and Stats. I'm your host, Terry Edelmann at TE Picks over on X, ready to break down the Thursday slate. 14 games to break down today, so we are going to get right into it. But first, of course, we will start the show as we normally do, taking a look back at yesterday, as well as a new segment coming right after the recap of yesterday. So, of course, stay tuned for that. But, of course, before we get to that, if you're looking for premium plays, head over to picksandparlays.net. Stanley Cup playoffs plus the rest of the regular season, only $199 over on the Picks and Parlays website. With that being said, we'll jump into the recap here in yesterday's slate. The first game, of course, before this one, Colorado losing to the Vancouver Canucks. Who saw that coming? I didn't. I said on yesterday's show that the Avs didn't really have that much of a motivation to win that game. So I was not totally shocked to see the Canucks get that win, but a huge upset win. The worst team in the NHL beats the best team in the NHL. It doesn't just beat them. They scored a ton of goals, beating Colorado 8-6 on their home ice. So bad loss there for the Avalanche against the worst team in the NHL. Beckett Seneca over half a point, unfortunately lost. My only loser yesterday, 3-in-1 day. Beckett Seneca unable to get a point. But Jackson Lacombe continues to find ways to get assists and cashed it for us. So one in one day here on the show yesterday. As I said, 3-in-1 day overall. But we'll look at the chat here. Had a huge 28-unit day yesterday. Not confident about today, but we'll see. Let's go, Terry. Hey, that's great for such a small day, such a small slate. That's great. Love to see it, Boo. Love to see it. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Brian. How's it going? But now we'll enter into the new segment on the show. Those familiar that watched the show last season will remember this, but it's time for standings updates. So now we'll take a look at the standings before each show. Not just the standings, though, the playoff race. So teams that have been eliminated or teams that I consider eliminated obviously will not be here. But taking a look at the Eastern Conference playoff race right now, nobody's clinched a playoff spot, but that can change tonight. Buffalo Sabres can clinch their first playoff berth in 14 years later on today if they get the win. So looking at the playoff race here, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Montreal, all really close. 4 points separates the three teams leading the Atlantic. Carolina with 100, Pittsburgh with 92, the Islanders with 89 points. Boston sitting there with 94, and they're not too far away from getting into the top three. Obviously, only 2 points behind Montreal for third in the Atlantic. Columbus currently sitting in the last wildcard spot with 88 points, but Ottawa, Detroit, Philly, all 2 points behind. 2 points behind Columbus, and they all have a game in hand. So this is incredibly close. And the Washington Capitals are saying, hey, don't forget about us. We're still involved as well. So right now, the Eastern Conference playoff race is wide open with these teams. I'm looking at the West. Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars have already clinched their playoff spot. They get that nice little green check mark beside their name. The Minnesota Wild can clinch a playoff spot tonight as well. In the Central, those three teams, as you can see, probably not moving anywhere. 94 points for the Wild, 100 for Dallas, 108 for the Avalanche. The Pacific, the Anaheim Ducks with a rough loss yesterday, losing in regulation to the Sharks, keeps the 2 points ahead of Edmonton. Vegas with 82. Utah has the top wildcard spot with 82. The Kings in the last wildcard spot with 78. And San Jose, Nashville, both 77 points, 1 point out of a playoff spot. Winnipeg's 2 points out. Seattle 3 points out. And St. Louis 4 points out of a playoff spot. Calgary has not been technically eliminated, but there wasn't really room for them on the screen, and basically they would have to win every single game and get help to make the playoffs. So I don't consider the Flames to have a chance. With that said, watch them go on a run and try to sneak into the playoff race just to say, ha, Terry, ha. So we'll see if that happens. But we'll jump into the chat, and then we'll get to this game. Good day, Terry, on the road. So I'll be kicking back, listening on our boy, plus 130, even though he didn't have a goal the last time they met. Awesome. Hi, Shanty. How's it going? Nice to see you. Montreal plus 3,300 and Anaheim plus 4,500 to win the Stanley Cup. Two really big plus money plays there. I like it, Robert. I love new segments. It shows you're always looking to make the show better. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate it, Boog. I appreciate it. I did take Buffalo plus 1,400 with you. Awesome, Robert. Awesome. But now, yay, it's time. We need to see the standings, especially with if it was like one team was competing with one team for the last wild card spot. Maybe not, but with everything so wide open right now, have to talk about the standings. So we'll be looking at the standings the rest of the season. But first game today, and boy, do we have a good one here. Buffalo Sabres and the Ottawa Senators. Buffalo plus 100 road dogs. Ottawa minus 120 home favorites. Total 6.5 here in our first game. Taking a look at this one here, Buffalo has won 6 games in a row against the Ottawa Senators. They've had a lot of success against Ottawa, and they've also won 9 of the last 11 between these two teams. 3 of the last 5 going under 5.5. So some lower scoring games recently here between these two teams. Looking at how these teams come into this game, Buffalo snapped their 3-game losing streak with back-to-back wins, beating Seattle and the Islanders. Ottawa, 3 losses in a row. 4-3 shootout loss to Pittsburgh, and they lost back-to-back games in Florida. 4-2 against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and 6-3 against the Florida Panthers. And we talked about that game. I talked about Florida and Ottawa and how Florida has absolutely dominated the Senators, and that continued. The Senators unable to beat Florida despite Florida being without most of their main players. They have almost their whole team on the IR right now. So despite that, the Senators losing that game, that really hurts their playoff chances. And now they have this Buffalo Sabres team coming in here. The Sabres team so hot on the road. And Buffalo, with a win in this game, will end the longest playoff drought in the NHL at 14 years. Trust me, the players, the management, Sabres fans especially, they want this to be done. They want this to be done. People, including myself, have been talking about the Sabres playoff drought for years now. Years. So when I look at this one here, I think Buffalo is the right side here in this game. Ottawa, of course, very desperate. They lose this game, it's really going to hurt their playoff chances. If Buffalo is facing Calgary in this spot, obviously, maybe Calgary's not the odds wouldn't really make sense. But if Buffalo is facing someone who wasn't a divisional opponent, and this wasn't the game that Buffalo could clinch the playoff berth with, then I wouldn't like Buffalo as much. But I think this is a good spot here for the Sabres. But I could see this game going to overtime. I could see this being a close one. I don't think Ottawa is going to roll over and die here, but I think this is going to be probably an exciting game to watch. Player prop wise, Jack Quinn is a point in 4 of his last 5 games, minus 116. He's red hot. Jordan Spence for the Ottawa Senators, with most of their defensemen out. Spence has really stepped up, points in 4 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10 games, plus 115. Peyton Krebs has a point 3 games in a row, plus 150 for the Sabres. Goal streaks, not a whole lot. Peyton Krebs and Jordan Spence have both scored in back-to-back games. Krebs plus 550, Spence plus 700. Assist streaks with value. Brady Tkachuk, 3 of his last 5 games, plus 133. Jack Quinn, Tage Thompson, back-to-back games with assists. And Tim Stützle has an assist in 3 of his last 5 games as well. Taking a look at goalies here in this game, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen likely for the Sabres, and Linus Ullmark confirmed here for the Sens. Ullmark coming off a game he's going to want to forget. That's for sure. In the last game against Florida, we'll see if he can bounce back here against his former team. He's definitely going to have motivation here tonight. Sabres money line plus 104. Can't talk you off it, of course. I can't. Don't even remember what I was doing 14 years ago. There you go, Hal. There you go. But the Sabres, remember, they were golfing. They were golfing in the summertime because, once again, no playoffs. But they can end that and finally have people shut up about that with the win tonight. We'll see if they can get the job done. But we'll move on along to our next game, the Montreal Canadiens and the New York Rangers. Montreal, minus 130, road favorites. The Rangers, plus 110 home dogs, and a total of 6.5 here in this game. Did skip a few games. We'll get to them at the end of the slate and the rest of the games on the slate segment. But this game here is incredibly interesting. I was actually really excited to talk about this game as soon as I looked at it last night. So how are both of these two teams doing right now? Well, Montreal comes into this game on a 5-game winning streak, and they beat some good opponents. They beat Carolina 5-2. Then they beat Columbus 2-1, but a team that's been hot recently. They beat Nashville 4-1. They beat Carolina again 3-1, and they beat Tampa Bay 4-1. So the Montreal Canadiens have allowed 1 goal in each of their last 4 games. They are not giving up a lot of goals. They are winning games in regulation. They're covering the puck line. The Habs look absolutely red hot right now. On the other side, the Rangers, they've been one of the worst home teams in the NHL this season, but they come into this game having won 3 games in a row, all at home. Beat Chicago 6-1, beat Florida 3-1, beat the Devils 4-1. So both of these two teams come into this game playing great hockey right now, giving up 1 goal per game, finding ways to win. When I saw this game on the slate, I was like, okay, I'm taking the Habs in regulation. With how they've been playing right now, I am going to back the Habs in this game. However, if you look at previous games between these two teams, the Rangers 6-0-1 in the last 7 meetings. 9 games in a row between these two teams going over 6.5. 2 of the last 3 going to overtime. Basically, these two teams play each other. We get very high-scoring games, a lot of them close to go to overtime. The Rangers usually finding a way to win. So the Habs should win this game. The Habs should win this game in regulation. They are the better team. They have been beating better opponents. But this Rangers team has had their number, including both games this year. The Rangers won 4-3 in Montreal and then 5-4 in overtime in New York. So when I look at this one here, this is a game the Habs should win, but it would not shock me one bit to see the Rangers win this game. Then I also lean with the over. I really want to take the over. 9 games in a row between these two teams going over 6.5. But both teams are giving up 1 goal a game. 4 games in a row for Montreal giving up 1 goal. The Rangers have given up 1 goal in 3 games in a row. Can't take the over. Can't take Montreal. But you know what I can take? The day ends in Y. Give me goal Caulfield. Anytime goal. Now, we're not getting as much value as we've been getting recently. Only plus 120 here for Caulfield to score. But Caulfield has scored a goal in 8 of his last 10 games. All 3 games on this road trip. I don't really think I need to say too much else. If you've been watching the show recently, if you've been betting Cole Caulfield anytime goal, as I have, you're probably on him again tonight. There's just no reason to stay off here. No, he hasn't had a lot of success against the Rangers, but hasn't had a lot of success against Tampa, hasn't had a lot of success against Carolina, but hasn't stopped him recently. So we'll take him. Goal Caulfield, anytime goal. Who saw this bet coming? Probably everybody, but that's okay. Guys on point streaks with value here, not a whole lot. Goal streaks, other than Caulfield, Connor Sheary has scored in back-to-back games in 3 of 5 for the Rangers, plus 575. Nick Suzuki scored in back-to-back games for Montreal, plus 210. And then assist streaks, Ivan Demidov has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 135. Adam Fox has an assist in 4 of his last 5, 8 of his last 10, and in, 6 consecutive games against Montreal, 4 multi-assist games during that stretch. Adam Fox loves to face the Habs, but of course, high-scoring games in the past, Rangers having success, doesn't surprise me. Adam Fox assist minus 120, not a bad bet. Slavkovsky, Caulfield both have assists in back-to-back games as well, plus 110, plus 112. If you're looking at player props for the Habs, look at the top line. If you're looking for the Rangers, I would say look at Adam Fox here in this game. But people want to know my opinion on the side. I mentioned at the beginning, if I had to pick a team, I think Montreal does get the job done, but I'm not betting it. Not betting it. Let's see here. Canucks messed me up yesterday, but I still cashed on totals and player props. Might just stick to that, but I agree Sabres probably win here. Yeah, I agree. Best bet, Buffalo, team total, shots on goal, over 25.5. Ottawa has given up 29, 27, 40, and 35 since the blue line injuries. Buffalo, 33, 36, 30, 25, 29, and 33. Love it, JD. Ottawa, you probably don't want to give that many shots to the Buffalo Sabres if you want to win this game. So we'll see what they can. We'll see if they can play any kind of defense, but I think Buffalo comes out motivated. I think they really come out motivated tonight. Bowen Byram has 4 goals in 3 games with 4 shots, 100% shooting percentage. Wow. Okay. Montreal over 6.5, series history, 5 straight 7-goal games. I know, I can see it, Robert, but this got the over 6 yesterday. Go Habs. Hey, if you got the 6, I like that. But I don't know. This one is, when it comes to the side and total, really, really scares me. I could see anything happening here in this one. But we'll move on along to our next game, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pittsburgh plus 150, road dogs. The Lightning minus 180, home favorites. And total 6.5 here in this one. Tampa, 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between the two teams. Not really that surprising there. 3 of the last 4 going over 6.5. And when I look at this game, I think the over is the play. Here. The first meeting, Pittsburgh won 4-3. Tampa won the second meeting 2-1 in a shootout. Pittsburgh has been an over team. If you've been betting Pittsburgh overs recently, you've done pretty well. So let me go up here. It's going to take me a while to go through these, so I'll go through quickly, but 4-3, 5-4, 5-4, 6-2, 4-3, 7-2, 6-5, 5-4, only 5-1 against Carolina, so an under there. 6-2, 4-3, 6-3, 8-3, and then another under 5-1 in their last game. So basically, Pittsburgh, their 2 unders recently have been 5-1 games. Just barely squeaking under. Tampa, they've been 3 consecutive unders here. 4-2, 3-2, and then a 4-1 loss against Montreal in their last game. But overs more before that. I think Tampa Bay comes out here wanting to bounce back after their loss in their last game. I think we get goals on both sides. Should be a high-scoring game here in this one. First, give me Sidney Crosby. Over half an assist, plus 112. No, Crosby doesn't have as much success against Tampa as he does Detroit, but that's okay. As an assist in 6 of his last 7 games, and does have an assist in 7 of his last 11 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. I expect this to be a high-scoring game. Crosby assist plus money. I don't think it should be plus money. I think Crosby assist should be much more closer to the minus 120 range than plus money. So I see lots of value on Crosby assist, so we'll take him. Plus 112. And as I said in the last game, or the last time I broke down the Pittsburgh Penguins, I said Crosby probably assists on a Ricard-Raquel goal. And what did he do? He assisted on a Ricard-Raquel goal. Don't be surprised to see that happen again here. Raquel has scored in 4 of his last 5 games, 2 multi-goal games during that stretch, and he's actually scored in 5 of his last 7. Plus 235 for Raquel. I do think that is a good look. But on the Tampa side, give me Jake Guentzel. Anytime goal, plus 130. Guentzel has yet to score against his former team, the team that drafted him, but I like it. I like him to do that here today. Guentzel is the hottest he's been in a while, goal-scoring wise. 5 games in a row, 7 of his last 8. He's found the back of the net. 5 consecutive home games. He scored a goal in 6 of his last 7 at home. Absolutely red hot right now. Never scored against his former team, but I think he does it here tonight. So give me Jake Guentzel, anytime goal, plus 130 here in this game. Other players with value point-wise, Anthony Mantha, points in 3 games in a row, plus 115. He's got some value. Anthony Mantha has also scored in 3 games in a row, plus 320. So some great value there. And then assist streaks, other than Crosby, Malkin and Brian Rust, both assists in 4 of their last 5, plus 160 for Rust, plus 125 for Malkin here in this game. But, and then goalies, so I don't forget. Stuart Skinner confirmed for Pittsburgh, Andrei Vasilevsky likely for the Lightning. Let's see here. Habs should win, but Rangers probably will. Yeah, I agree with that. I'll take Montreal minus 123. The Rangers aren't good. But they are when they play Montreal, though. Both teams also playing very defensively lately. Yes, exactly why I can't take the over in that one. Bolduc has 3 goals in 3 games versus Igor. All right. Just to clarify, Robert Stats and Byram, those numbers are against all marks specifically, which makes the play even more attractive. All right, I like it. Pens game, Habs game, Leafs game, all teams to score 2+ goals, plus 207. I like that. Of course, the middle one, I'm a little nervous, but hey, yeah, I like it. Baby bump game for Mantha. There we go. And he just happens to be on a goal streak as well, so probably should be on Mantha, but there's a lot of spots I should be on today. This could be a huge slate. So at this point in the year, trying to keep it a little bit under control volume-wise. So we'll stick with Guentzel and Crosby here in this one. But moving on along to our next game, the Washington Capitals and the New Jersey Devils. Washington minus 110, New Jersey minus 110, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. Looking at previous games between the two teams, Washington 3-0-1 in the last 4 meetings. 3 of the last 5 going under 5.5, so some more lower scoring games than higher, and 2 of the last 3 going to overtime here between these two teams. Would not shock me at all to see overtime in this game. The Washington Capitals are fighting for their playoff lives. I didn't really consider them in the mix, but they're in the mix right now. And if they can keep stringing some wins together, they'll definitely have a shot here in this game. Looking at goalies here in this one, bear with me for a second here as I try to find it. Logan Thompson likely, Jake Allen likely here for both teams. Give me the grade 8. Anytime goal. Alex Ovechkin, anytime goal, plus 155. Ovechkin enters this game red hot recently. He scored in 4 of his last 7 games, 2 multi-goal games during that stretch. He scored in 3 of his last 4 against the New Jersey Devils. And lots of rumors going on about Ovechkin right now. Rumors are and reports are that he does not want a farewell tour like Anze Kopitar is getting. It's being said that Ovechkin could retire at the end of this year, and he could announce it a few days before the season starts. And it's also reported that he wants to go and play a year in Russia before he officially retires his hockey career. So, of course, none of that is official. It's all just being reported. But I do see truth in that in those reports. It would not shock me to see Ovechkin retire at the end of the year, but it wouldn't shock me to see him go another year as well. That said, right now he's red hot. He's had success against the Devils. If he is planning to retire, he's likely going to really give it all he has to keep on putting goals on the board here down the stretch. He looks red hot right now. The Devils out of the playoffs. So I like this spot for Ovechkin to keep his success going against a divisional rival. And hey, this could be the last time he faces the New Jersey Devils. So see if he can find the back of the net here in this game. Going right back to Caulfield Gensel anytime goal parlay. I like it, Carl. I know you commented on the other show that you were parlaying those two, that you really like those two that I gave out. You're parlaying them together. So I was really happy when obviously they both cashed that you cashed that. So I like it. But we'll continue on along with our next game. The Vancouver Canucks and the Minnesota Wild. The Canucks plus 325 road dogs. The Wild minus 425 home favorites. And a total of 6.5 here in this one. The Wild can show the Colorado Avalanche how you're supposed to play against the Vancouver Canucks. Not how Colorado did against them yesterday. And I think that's what happens here. This game, this should be a beat-down spot for the Wild. There's no excuses for them not to win this game by margin. That being said, the Wild puck line is minus 165. So, in my opinion, there's no reason to back the Wild here, but I would not take the Canucks either. The Canucks, with an 8-6 win against the Colorado Avalanche, they just won their Stanley Cup last night. That was their Stanley Cup, getting that win in Colorado. The Wild have been inconsistent recently. I've had a few days off here. I think the Wild are ready to go. I think they take care of business here. No place for me in this game, but I am looking at Quinn Hughes, of course, facing his former team for the first time. I think Quinn Hughes' shots on goal prop is a good look. Of course, we know I don't really take too many shots on goal props, but Quinn Hughes, over 2.5 shots on goal is plus 100. 5 shots against the Panthers, 3 shots against Boston in his last few games. I think Hughes comes out strong here. You could look at him for over 1.5 points, plus 155. You could also look at Hughes' goal. He does not score very often, but this could be a game where he does find the back of the net. Plus 360 for Quinn Hughes to score here. I think Quinn Hughes has a big game here against his former team. Players with value, Jake DeBrusk, points in 4 of 5, plus 130. Brock Besser, points in 4 of 5, 8 of 10, minus 105. Elias Pettersson, points in 4 of his last 5, plus 104. Brock Faber, points in 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5, minus 120. Here. Goal streaks, Besser and DeBrusk, both 3 of their last 5 games. Ryan Hartman has scored in back-to-back games for the Wild. And then assist streaks, Elias Pettersson, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 167 here in this one. But we'll go to the chat here and see what people think. Zebuum, Liam Ogren, Marco Rossi. Please don't let them all score here tonight against their former team. But hey, would not shock me to see 1 or 2 or hopefully not 3 all have success tonight. But Hughes power play point plus 115. Okay, let's take a look. I actually skipped power play points when I was looking here. Let's see, Hughes has been kind of quiet in the power play points in 2 of his last 3. I'm seeing plus 120. So not horrible, of course. The Canucks do not have a good penalty kill. They would be very smart to stay out of the penalty box here against the Wild tonight. You think Rossi's going to have a good game? I can see it. I could see it. I could. Wild first period team total over 1.5 plus 172. Wild to score in all 3 periods, plus 105. Kaprizov, 9 goals in 13 games versus Vancouver and 1 shy of 40. I like it, JD. I like it. Of course. Of course I like all 3 of those, but I wish you luck. I know that if the Wild do not take care of business tonight, I'm going to get some angry messages. So come on, Wild, take care of business. Don't make me have to deal with some angry messages. So we'll see. But Winnipeg and Dallas, Winnipeg plus 140. The Dallas Stars minus 165, home favorites, total 5.5 here in this one. If you missed the beginning of the show, we went through the standings. Winnipeg is just a few points out of a playoff spot. Actually, bear with me for a second here, and I'll just bring it up again. Winnipeg currently 76 points, 2 points out of a playoff spot. They are right in the mix. The Dallas Stars pretty much set in their spot here. Total of 5.5 in this one. Previous games between these two teams, Dallas has won all 3 games against Winnipeg this year, looking to complete the season series sweep. 3 consecutive over 6.5s between these two teams. So hasn't just gone over 5.5, it's gone over 6.5 when these two teams have faced each other. Dallas won 5-4, Dallas won 4-3, and Dallas won 4-3 in overtime. So very close games, or all 3 one-goal games, all 3 high-scoring games. Winnipeg comes in here having won 4 of their last 5. Dallas has lost 4 of their last 5 heading into this one. I could only bet Winnipeg or pass here in this one. The Jets, everybody, including myself, wrote the Jets off, but they are right here, right in the mix. I don't like the Dallas has beat them all 3 games this year, but right now Winnipeg is in much better current form than the Dallas Stars, and this game matters a lot more to the Winnipeg Jets than it does to the Stars. So lean with Winnipeg here in this game. Guys on point streaks, Cole Perfetti, Josh Morrissey, both points in 5 games in a row, plus 104 for Perfetti, plus 110 for Morrissey. Gabriel Velarde, points in 4 of his last 5, minus 105 here in this one. Kyle Connor and Cole Perfetti have both scored in back-to-back games, 3 of their last 5. Not really any power play point streaks. Josh Morrissey, assist, 5 games in a row, plus 145. And then Kyle Connor, Gabriel Velarde, both assists in 4 of their last 5 games, minus 110 for Connor, plus 190 for Gabriel Velarde here in this one. But we'll go to the chat. Canucks first period goal plus 100. Dogs facing teams minus 300 plus have scored a first period goal in 21 of 29 games. Vancouver has done it in their last 2 against Colorado and Vegas. All right, there you go. Of course you are, Boog. Of course you are. Preparing my angry messages. Don't get too prepared here. The Wild better take care of business, because not only will you be upset, I'm going to be extremely upset if they don't take care of business today. Boldy goal. I could see it. Hasn't been super hot, but I could see him getting on track here. Jets, first goal, first period, or first goal of the game. The Stars have given up the first goal in 6 straight, and the Jets have scored first in 4 or 5. Okay. I say look-ahead game for Dallas with Colorado on Saturday. That's something to consider too. Like I said, I lean Winnipeg. I do lean Winnipeg here. Harman assist plus 195. Don't hate it. Scheifele over 1.5 points. 3 straight and 4 or 5 versus Dallas and 3 or 4 overall. Connor, 8 goals and 13 versus Jake. Robo, 10 and 15 versus Hellebuck. All right, I like it. Lots of great stats there, JD. Tough spot for Dallas off a 4-game road trip. That's true as well. And they're just not playing well right now. So we'll see. Obviously, other teams fighting for a playoff spot don't want Winnipeg to win this game, but doesn't mean that they won't here in this one. But we'll continue on along with our next game, the Chicago Blackhawks and the Edmonton Oilers. The Hawks plus 200 road dogs, Edmonton minus 245 home favorites, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. Edmonton 10-1 in the last 11 games between these two teams. They've owned Chicago for quite a long time now. However, Chicago plus 1.5 is cashed in 4 of the last 5 meetings. So Chicago is keeping games close against the Oilers, just usually finding a way to lose in the end. 3 of the last 5 going over 6.5. 2 of the last 3 going to overtime. When I look at this one here, kind of lean a little bit with the Hawks, plus 1.5, but not going to get to it here in this one. One play that I almost pulled the trigger on again, but didn't here is Anton Frundell, over half a point, plus 110. He has a point in 4 of 5 games since coming up to the NHL. He's been absolutely great for the Hawks. I do think there's value with him at plus 106 to get a point here in this game. Bertuzzi is a point 3 of 5, minus 115. McDavid goal, 5 games in a row with a goal. He's plus 100, so he's actually plus money to score, which is surprising against the Hawks. Matt Savoy's goal streak came to an end. I'm not taking him today. Probably finds the back of the net. Here, both power plays ice cold, even Edmonton's, which is a bit surprising. And then assist streaks, Bouchard, but no value there. Here, Frondell assists 3 of 5 games, plus 195 here in this game. Tristan Jarry confirmed. Oh my goodness. There you go. High scoring game. Likely a high scoring. I probably should jump on Frondell. But as I said, trying to keep things a little bit lower volume here today. Calgary and Vegas. Calgary plus 210. Vegas minus 260. Total of 6 here in this game. Vegas 5-1-1 in the last 7 meetings. 3 overs, 1 push to a total of 6 in recent meetings here between these two teams. And yes, I've forgotten goalies for a few games. That's just what happens. Dustin Wolf unconfirmed here. Aiden Hill unconfirmed for the Vegas Golden Knights. And when I look at this one here, side and total wise, not going to get to anything here. Vegas 2-1 this year against the Flames. Calgary coming off a 9-2 loss to Colorado. Definitely a game they're going to want to forget. The Golden Knights coming off a 4-2 win against the Canucks, which ended a 3-game losing streak. They got their first win for new coach John Tortorella. Vegas should win this game, but ultimately don't really want to get involved. That said, there are some player props to look at here in this game. Ivan Barbashev, points in 4 of his last 5, minus 118. Matt Coronado and Matvei Gridin both had their point streaks snapped in their last game, but points in 4 of their last 5. Rasmus Andersson, points in back-to-back games, 3 of 5, plus 160, facing his former team for the first time. Rasmus Andersson has also scored in back-to-back games and 3 of 5, plus 725 for Andersson to score. Ryan Strome has also scored in back-to-back games, 3 of 5 for the Calgary Flames. So keep an eye on both of those guys here. Coronado assist 4 of his last 5 games, plus 250 here. In this game, if I was going to get to something here, it would be Rasmus Andersson point, most likely here in this one. But we'll jump into Frost, Coronado, Gridin. Book it. There we go. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Rasmus Andersson revenge game, plus 725 anytime goal. Don't hate it. He's hot. He's on a streak right now. On a streak. Calgary on the road is awful. Yes, very true. Very true. If you're looking to back the Flames, you really want to do it at home. 10-23-3 on the road so far this year. But 2 more games left than the other games on the slate segment. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the San Jose Sharks. The Leafs plus 100 road dogs. The Sharks minus 120 home favorites. And a total 6.5 here in this one. The Sharks have won 3 games in a row against the Leafs. All 3 games going to overtime. 4 of the last 6 going under 5.5. So usually some lower scoring games here. Both teams going to overtime. The Sharks finding a way to win. And I think the Sharks win this game, but I think it's probably going to be more of a higher scoring game. So previous game has been more lower scoring between the two teams, but I think this is going to be a higher one. Joseph Woll unconfirmed, Alex Nedeljkovic unconfirmed here in this game. For me, give me the kid, Macklin Celebrini, anytime goal, plus 125. Celebrini is just, there's really no words for him for how great he's been this season. This guy is going to be the best player in the NHL one day. I'm not ready to say he's better than McDavid at this point, but I think Celebrini definitely has the ability to become the best player in the NHL and the face of the NHL one day. So he scored in 3 games in a row, back-to-back games with 2-goal performances, 105 points in the season, 40 goals, 65 assists, leads the team on shots on goal. Celebrini is trying to bring the Sharks to the playoffs, basically putting the team on his back and trying to get this Sharks team to the playoffs. So red hot right now, scoring multiple goals per game recently. 1 point out of a playoff spot, facing the Toronto Maple Leafs, a team that their season is over. Give me Celebrini anytime goal, and I really do lean with the Sharks as well to win this game also. But looking at players with value here in this game, Celebrini over 1.5 points, 3 games in a row, plus 128. Dmitry Orlov point in 3 games in a row, plus 120. Alex Wenberger scored in back-to-back games for the Sharks, plus 370. Tavares, 3 of his last 5, plus 200. Celebrini, Smith, both power play points in 3 of their last 5. Celebrini a power play point in 3 games in a row. The power play has been hot. Toronto does have a good penalty kill, but we'll see what happens. Will Smith assists 3 games in a row, plus 123. Dmitry Orlov assists 3 games in a row, plus 147 here in this one. San Jose in regulation. No, be careful there with the regulation part, Kelly. 3 games in a row between the two teams have gone to overtime. So I like the Sharks. I don't like I would take the money line. I would take them on the money line. What's the Sharks record as a home fave? Paging JD. We'll see if he can get those stats for you, Robert. But probably not a home favorite that often. So we'll see. But final game of the night before we get to the rest of the games on the slate segment, the Nashville Predators, plus 105 road dogs, LA Kings, minus 125 home favorites, total 5.5 here in this one. Both of these two teams in the playoff race right now. We'll go back to it one more time. The Kings currently in the final wildcard spot with 78 points. Nashville a point behind with 77 entering this game. So this is an important game for both teams heading into this one. How have these two teams done against each other? Nashville 6-2-1 in the last 9 meetings between the two teams. For a total 5.5, 2 overs, 6 unders in the last 8 meetings. Usually, this is a lower scoring game between these two teams, with the Predators finding a way to finish out on top. When I look at this one here, I think this is a tough one. The Kings, obviously, a second night of a back-to-back. Neither of these teams, in my opinion, deserve to be in the playoffs. But one of them might very well make it, just with how the Western Conference is. I'm rooting for the Sharks. I would like to see San Jose get that final spot. So, of course, I did bet them to make the playoffs as well. So, we'll see what happens here in this one. But players on streaks here in this game. Alex Laferriere, point in 4 of his last 5, minus 110. Drew Doughty, points in 4 of his last 5, plus 150. Here. Goal streaks, Philip Forsberg, Quinton Byfield, Steven Stamkos, all 3 of their last 5 games. Adrian Kempe has scored in back-to-back games. No power play point streaks at all here. Drew Doughty assist 4 of his last 5 games, plus 198 with an assist. I really do lean with the under here. I think, sorry, other Western Conference teams, but I think this could be a 1-1, 2-2 type game that goes to overtime, and then somebody wins. So that would be my my thoughts here in this one. Sharks are 1-4 as a home favorite, 1-2 as a home dog. 1-2. Yikes. Thanks, JD. There you go. LA is 4-9 in the second half of a back-to-back. There you go. Draw. Last 3 have gone to overtime. Oh, thank you. That was right below on my next page. Thanks for mentioning it. I had that written down. LA has gone to overtime in 28 games this season. I could see it. I could see it for sure. But going on to the rest of the games, or the other games on the slate segment here, breaking down some games that I did not go over here. Boston and Florida. Boston 5-1-1 in the last 7 meetings. 5 of the last 6 going over 6.5. 2 of the last 4 going to overtime. So usually high-scoring games with the with the Florida Panthers finding a way to win. I think we're going to have a higher-scoring game here. But don't know if the Panthers get the win here. They beat Florida both times they beat Boston both times this season. Boston comes in here, 4-3 win, 6-3 win, 4-3 win, 6-3 win. So they're alternating 4-3, 6-3 wins recently. And the Panthers are off a 6-3 win, which snapped a 3-game losing streak. So I see goals here. I think Boston probably does end up getting the win. They have struggled against Florida, but I do think this is a good spot for the Bruins. Here in this one, players on streaks. Victor Arvidsson, point, minus 115, 4 games in a row. He's been red hot. 5 different guys have scored in 3 of their last 5 games. Victor Arvidsson, AJ Greer, Matthew Tkachuk, Pavel Zacha, and Elias Lindholm. Assist streaks here. Pasternak, but no value. Pavel Zacha, an assist in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 150 here in this game. Columbus at Carolina. Carolina 4-1-1 in the last 6. The home team had won 8 in a row, but Carolina getting the road win in their last game. 3-1-1 to a total of 6. It's tough beating the 2 teams facing each other in the regular season, playing the next game. That being said, Columbus looks like they have run out of gas at the wrong time. Losing 4 games in a row heading into this one. Not what you want when you're trying to squeak into a playoff spot. Carolina's been alternating wins and losses, so this would be a loss for them if they keep doing that. And they 5-1 win, 5-2 loss. 5-2 win, 3-1 loss, 5-2 win. So Carolina's been kind of all over the place. Ultimately going to stay off of this one. Heavy dominant home history, but I could see Columbus snapping their losing streak. They have to. They have to get that losing streak done. But a player I probably should be on here is Nikolai Ehlers. He scored a goal in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 230. But he also has an assist in 3 of his last 5, plus 137. A lot of history with assists against Columbus. Nikolai Ehlers is red hot. So if you wanted to use his point as a parlay piece, I think that would probably be the best way to go. I'd see it around minus 150 because he's been scoring and assisting. So I think his point as a parlay piece is a good play here in this one. Sebastian Aho assists 3 games in a row, minus 120. And then Mason Marchment, Kirill Marchenko, Andrei Svechnikov, and Seth Jarvis all assists in 3 of their last 5 games. Detroit and Philadelphia. Philadelphia 3-1 in the last 4 meetings, 3 of the last 5 going under 5.5. As we looked at the beginning of the show in the Eastern Conference playoff race, both of these 2 teams in it, trying to get into the playoffs. Detroit's lost 4 of their last 5 games, including a 5-3 loss to this Flyers team. The Flyers had won 3 games in a row, but then lost 6-4 to Washington. I don't want to bet on either of these teams. I don't want to bet against either of these teams. So ultimately is another pass. But player streaks, Trevor Zegras, 6-game point streak. He's been red hot. Point streak about minus 135. So not a ton of value there. Lucas Raymond, Alex DeBrincat, Sean Couturier, and Tyson Forster, who looks like he's making his return to the lineup, have all scored in 3 of their last 5 games. Here, Patrick Kane, Trevor Zegras, and Moritz Seider all have assists in 4 of their last 5 games. Definitely have value. I would look at Trevor Zegras here for an assist if I was going to get to something here in this one. And I believe that we have one more game left. Utah and Seattle. The home team, 6-0-0 all time between these two teams. 4 overs and 1 push to a total of 6. So really high-scoring games between Utah and Seattle. The home team usually finding a way to win. That being said, I kind of lean with Utah here, but not going to get to it. Especially with the heavy home history. Guys with points in 3 of 5, but nobody overly consistent right now with a ton of value. Same with goal streaks and assist streaks. It's kind of the offense is really spread out on both teams right now, so it's difficult player prop wise to get to anything here. But we'll go into the chat and see what people are thinking here. Yeah, we saw that. Kempe and Kopitar point parlay plus 111. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Bruins in regulation plus 105. All right. Elvis is in the building tonight, confirmed. Merzlikins. There you go. Marchenko has 10 goals in 13 games versus Carolina. He always scores versus the Canes. All right, I like it. Zaka, Arvidsson, McAvoy point past assist. Parlay plus 337. All right. So JD thinks that they score quite a bit against the Panthers. Ehlers, 6 goals in 6 games versus Elvis. He's the hottest player on the team right now. Yeah. If you're looking at a Carolina prop, it's Nikolai Ehlers. However you want to do it. 10 goals in 13 games versus the Canes plus 205. All right. I like it. But that is today's show. Thank you for watching. There will be shows for hockey and baseball tomorrow. I'm not sure on what time. The baseball show I might do a little bit earlier than usual. It is obviously Good Friday tomorrow, so it's a holiday. So stay tuned for timing show-wise for tomorrow, but we'll definitely have a show for hockey and for baseball. Thank you guys for watching. If you're looking for premium plays, head over to picksandparlays.net. I've got a 5-star, 5-unit best bet over on the site right now. You can get that, or you can get the rest of the regular season and playoffs special over on the site. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Best of luck tonight.